Hello, I'm Dr. Jennifer Kane, and these are some acupressure points that can help you as you go through cancer treatment and beyond. Now, remember, when you do acupressure, first of all, your doctor should be aware of what's happening with you. Usually, acupuncture helps with supporting. So you might be taking some medications, but still have some other side effects. And acupressure is something you can do in the comfort of your own home, work, doctor's visit, that can help to bring you to calm, to center, and to help with some of the side effects of cancer and cancer treatment. Remember, when you do acupressure, you are tapping into a healing system that has been used for thousands of years by millions and millions of people. So, as I go through these points, there are so many possible points, but I'm going to talk about points on the hand and on the face because they're really easy to access, whether you're lying down in bed or whether you are sitting in a doctor's office. So I prefer to think about, okay, I'm feeling calm as I do this, but sometimes I will just be watching a movie or something and be working on an acupressure point without thought. And that's okay. What you don't want to do is make it hurt, so no pain. Sometimes I'll just rest a finger against a point or just gently rub it. And other times I'll press a little harder, but not so that it causes pain. So let's start with the three that I mentioned in the Cancer Journal, and in no particular order. Again, there are other points that can work, but these are easily accessed. So we'll start with heart 7. That's just at the wrist crease, just on the pinky side. And I just gently rest my finger against that point, or sometimes rub like that. Some people prefer the feeling of pressure or the feeling of tapping. And this is just what resonates with you, what feels better. There's no right or wrong. This point is called Shen Men, which means spirit gate. It helps to bring calm and peace. In traditional Chinese medicine, the heart is the ruler of all emotions, so it can really help. Additionally, it's one of the primary points for insomnia. So if you're having trouble falling asleep, especially if it's because your heart feels it's not calm, or you're worried, or you're experiencing other emotions, but also that overthinking, it can help with things like that. It's also known to help with dreams that are disturbed. And you can also use it if you wake up in the middle of the night. You can use that just to help yourself fall back asleep, rubbing it, pressing it, tapping it. And I, especially at night, remind myself, all is well, I'm calm, I'm at peace. You know, sometimes I'll say prayers with it or even gratitude with it. And that can lull me into sleep. Now, in that vein, there's 4 acupressure points on the heart meridian right here. And right next to that, like less than half an inch, is a wonderful point for night sweats. So if you are going through menopausal symptoms, just because it's that time or because your cancer treatment is causing that, that's a great point. So the beautiful thing is if you put your finger here, you will be getting both that calming point Shen Men as well as the point that helps with night sweats, hot flashes, things like that. Now, this calming point that I talked about, heart 7 or Shen Men, is not so calming that it's going to make you fall asleep if you are out and about and you need enough energy. It's more about bringing peace and calm. So it's okay to use at multiple different times. Let's move on to another point. So large intestine 4, if you bring your thumb and finger together, it's the high point of that hill. It's also just kind of deep in there. So this is the most studied point in acupuncture, and it's used frequently. When they have done functional MRIs showing the blood flow in the brain, when a needle is placed in this spot, people have a drop in the how they're in the blood flow to the areas that process pain. So of course, anytime you have pain, make sure that your oncologist or your general practitioner or whoever is coordinating your care is aware of that. But sometimes this can help beyond, in addition to the other things you are doing. So This point, again, sometimes I will press, tap, rub. When I put a needle in this spot for me, it tends to be a deep, dull ache across my hand. That's my experience of it. So sometimes I will choose to make this a little sore when I do acupressure on it. In which case, instead of hurting this hand by pressing hard, I'll use my knuckle and just press in a little. But other times I will just tap or put my finger there. So this point is wonderful for pain, but it's also the source point for the large intestine. I had colorectal cancer, and so that might be one of the reasons that this point tends to be pretty sore on me. It is also a master point for everything in the head and neck. So I use it for patients with headaches, with sinus conditions, with tooth pain, things like that as well. It has a lot of other characteristics. So I'm just telling you some of the main reasons I would use it and have used it while I was going through cancer treatment and afterwards. Now this next point is it's 2 thumbs down from the wrist crease. So if you follow down, there's a little bit of a depression, and it's midline, and it's known as pericardium 6. And it's a very, very calming point. It helps to settle the spirit, but also settle the stomach. So anytime that you have nausea, vomiting, hiccups, burping, things like that, that can help a great deal. You do not want to press hard here. The median nerve that innervates the majority of the hand comes through here. If you press, you might get some numbness or tingling. If you rest your finger or just gently rub or tap it, you won't. So do not cause any type of numbness. Definitely pull back pressure, not too much there. But I recommend that all of my patients who see me for acupuncture during chemo and they're experiencing nausea or stomach upset, in addition to doing the acupressure at that time in the office, I always recommend that they go online, get those motion sickness bracelet. It'll show you exactly where to put it. You don't want it so tight that, again, it compromises circulation or anything, but it's just that slight pressure on the point that can help. So sometimes people will wear it frequently. Sometimes they do it just before and during and right after chemo, but they're very, very inexpensive. So other very calming points, there's one just if you do this with your arm right here, there's a spot that helps to bring us to homeostasis, helps to just balance the body. And so if that's sore, just you can feel that and rub that area. By the way, all of these points can be done on both hands, on either hand. You can spend 3 minutes, or sometimes I will just spend 3 deep breaths. There's no absolute right or wrong. If there is any type of skin condition under that, then don't do that point. If there's a varicose vein or redness or a cut or something like that, there's other points that you can use. As we move up into the face, some of my very favorite points are, this is an extra point right between the eyebrows. It's calming. It helps to settle that monkey mind when your thoughts are everywhere, when you start to move from the present into the what ifs. And what ifs can be wonderful when we wonder, oh, what if this happens and it's a good direction, and we're opening our mind to possibility. Sometimes through cancer treatment, our what ifs can move in towards fear, and that can keep us from sleeping and things like that. So this point helps us to come to center and to calm. I use it a lot for patients with headaches, with stress, with sinus conditions and things like that. And for me, some people like the tapping. Some people, I like just the gentlest pressure. And then there is a point at the very top of the head. So I feel the top of my ears and I follow it to the very top of my head. This is known as Dew 20 or Governing Vessel 20. It lifts everything up. So that can be lifting the emotions. It can be lifting energy. But when I say lifting energy, I don't usually do this point right before bed, but it's more a calming energy than, oh my gosh, that frantic, or I can go all day. It's also, both these points are very good for the mind and the spirit. One of my favorite things to do that really settles me is just the gentlest pressure forward and the gentlest pressure down. I will do this, And then I close my eyes and I just hold it for a few breaths. And I feel like it brings peace, calm, and centeredness. Now, these are just 5 acupressure points that I have found amazing for myself, for patients who come in for acupuncture during cancer, after cancer, and patients who have never gone through cancer at all. These are very, very, uh, they have specific indications, but they have a lot of things that they help with. And then there are wonderful points all through the body, but just wanted to start with these basics. Sometimes if you have too much information, we don't do anything. So just play with it. Calm your breathing, press or tap on a point. Let yourself settle into peace and calm. I hope this helps.